Hello world, my name is Tim Ruswick, and there's a question that I get a lot. I get it in an email, I get it on Discord, I get it on Twitter, and it has to do with whether or not you should make games alone. I'm a solo developer. I tend to make games by myself, and a lot of people want to know if they should do it too. Here's the thing. I don't think anybody should ever make games alone. Period. Hands down, never make games alone. But what do I mean by that? I don't mean that you shouldn't make games solo. Because here's the thing I found. I like making games by myself. I like coming up with the ideas and doing all the art and music and sound and figuring it all out. And I love the whole creative process of having to do every single piece of an entire video game by myself. I love that. But I don't do it alone. And that's the distinction, is I have a community. I have a stream. I have you lovely people on YouTube. And I didn't realize the difference before. I thought either you made a game by yourself or you made a game with other people, and I thought those were the only two ways that you could possibly do it. But what I realized is that, like, you can make a game solo, but not alone. And I never noticed that distinction, and because I didn't notice that distinction, I realized that I was, like, super lonely all the time, and I had all kinds of mental struggles because of it. And so, 3 reasons why you should never make games alone. Number 1, it's really lonely. It's really fucking lonely. You can get, like, even if you don't think of yourself as a people person, which I never really did. I always thought of myself as an introvert, and which, by the way, I've started to kind of like break those barriers. The better I get at social interactions, the less I feel like an introvert because I'm more capable of interacting with people. But, like, anyway, being alone in a room working on something by myself with nobody to share it with, nobody to talk to, nobody to do any of that with, it takes its toll on you. And it can have a lot of negative side effects. And it's no fun. So, even if you make games solo, try not to do it, by yourself. Try to get other people involved. Number 2, there's no accountability. Like, when you create a new project and it's fun and it's interesting and you're working on it and you're excited for it, and then you get another idea, that shiny object syndrome kicks in, and you're like, hey, I could just jump on this idea and nobody would even know. Nobody would ever know. They're not going to find out because nobody's around me. That's the problem. I have my community that keeps me accountable. If I were to just jump ship from Fathophobia or another project that I was working on, people would be like, hey, what happened to that project? Right? So you need some sort of accountability to keep you on track. Number 3, 2 people triple your productivity. If you want to work with somebody, whenever I've worked in teams, you can get way more done just from the idea phase. And assuming you're working with the right people, right? That'd be a whole nother video on how to find the right people for your project and stuff like that. But, like, when you put 2 brains together, I think you get a lot more out of it. And even, like I said, even if it's not working on the game, even if you're making the game solo, but you get feedback from people, that can be so valuable. And you don't want to, like, understate that. And so you're saying, how do I not make games alone though, Tim? You have a YouTube channel. It's easy for you. People watch you. It's easy for you, Tim. Not for me. I'm in a room alone on my computer. Well, I'm in a room alone with a camera. Okay, same thing. Here are 3 ways. 4 ways actually. You can find a community. Matter of fact, you can go down in the description of this video, you can look for a Discord link, and there's a link to the Game Dev Underground Discord community, which has thousands of members from across the globe that would love to be your friend and keep you company. Number 2, you can stream your game dev. This is something that has been super helpful for me. It does take a lot of work. It's not simple to pick up, especially if you are somewhat of an introvert. You have to learn to kind of talk to yourself. But what I've found is, like, I have fun making games because I'm making them and people are watching me and I'm interacting with the people. So I feel like even though I'm in a room alone on a computer, I'm hanging out with a bunch of people while I do it, and it makes it really, really fun. You can interact on social media. So this is one that a lot of people are really afraid of. If you go on Twitter, you can just tweet people. You can look through the hashtags and stuff. You can find somebody that has something interesting, give them some feedback. And you know what? When you give them feedback, they're going to give you feedback. If you just go out of your way to interact with other people, they'll go out of their way to interact with you. It just takes a long time to kind of do that. And a lot of people don't go out and do the social work that it takes to get people to know, like, and trust you. Number 4, you can participate in Feedback Friday on Twitter and Reddit. So if you don't know, hashtag Feedback Friday on Twitter, or there's a separate thread on the our game dev every Friday, Feedback Friday. Everybody posts their game there. That's what they do. Same thing with Screenshot Saturday. Hashtag Screenshot Saturday on Twitter, or the Screenshot Saturday thread on Reddit. You can participate. This is stuff that happens every week, and everybody can go there and post their game and get feedback and talk to people and communicate and give other people feedback and make friends, and it's awesome. We also have Feedback Friday on my Twitch channel as well. The first Friday of every month. It won't be this Friday because I'll be gone, but usually it's the first Friday of every month, and I give feedback live, and we all give feedback to each other, and we all hang out on Fridays for the community stream. So it tends to work out. There's no excuse. I don't think making games solo or making games alone is ever... I would never do it again. I would never do it again. There were years of development on Photophobia that I made alone in a room on my computer, and it is the most lonely, draining, horribly mentally negative possible thing that I could possibly have done. And especially with such a negative game like that, I would never do it again. So what I would say, make games solo if you want. You don't need a team, but don't make games alone. Make them with a community. Share them. Hang out with people. Get feedback. Trade feedback. Make friends. Join Discord. Hang out in streams. Do your stuff. We all struggle with loneliness. A lot of us game devs especially, we tend to be introverted computer people, and it can be rough sometimes. And just don't take care of yourself, okay? I love you. You're awesome. You should join my community, the Discord, in the link below. There are lots of lovely, friendly people that would love to hang out with you and make sure that you don't make games alone. So, Ludum Dare coming up. Have fun with that one. My name is Tim Ruswick, and I will see you again in the next video.